Welcome back, everyone, to the Impossible Puzzles Show, episode 184. We're saying hi today to Vladislav von Wyk. Is that right?
Van Wyk. Van Wyk.
Amazing. For those who don't know you yet, tell us all about yourself. Hello.
Oh, shoot. Telling all about myself would take a couple of days. um,
We can
but
slim it
yeah,
down
is
a
there
little.
any specific question that you have? I can maybe,
Specific
get more
question.
specific about myself.
Yes, we will focus on specific questions and not do a million open-ended questions. How would you introduce yourself in like 30 seconds? What do you say that you do and a little bit taste?
All right. I hope you have the timer. But yeah, my name is Vladislav. It's hard to pronounce for a lot of people, so most of the time I introduce myself by singing the song "What Is Love" because it rhymes so well. So, what is love, baby? Don't hurt me, and it rhymes with "blood is love." So that's how you pronounce that. And yeah, I love people. I love meeting people, hearing their stories, what they're doing, and I make it my mm, business to be curious about people and like why they're doing what they're doing, what inspired them, or what happened, uh, what series of events happened throughout their career or their life that led them to a specific moment that caused them to open a company or start a business, maybe start a SaaS like startup. Uh, and I love connecting people. So as soon as they tell me who they want to meet, who would be their ideal connection right now, uh, I quickly think of potential matches and I introduce people so that they can level up, make more money together, create more opportunities, create more impact, and contribute to their communities and the global welfare of human society, so to speak.
A beautiful, fascinating answer. Amazing. And you're coming in from Turkey? Is it true?
Yeah, I've been living in Turkey for the past, I think, almost 6 years now.
Turkey, what's that like? You're not talking turkey breast, turkey sandwich. You're talking turkey, turkey, turkey. What's that like? I don't know anything about Turkey.
Well, officially, Turkey has changed its name. I think almost 2 years ago. It's now Turkey. It's now pronounced Turkey. And my wife is Turkish. This is why I'm here. We met in a lovely holiday town, Kuşadası. It just happened that I was on my rotation, and she was also having holiday with her parents there. And we met. After 6 days of meeting her, I asked her to marry me. She said no, but it
Oh,
didn't stop me.
that's an impossible puzzle, if you will. 6 days.
Yes.
Well, that's a little bit. How did you know?
Let's just say divine intervention because I didn't go on holiday to meet anybody. I simply went to spend time with my family, my parents, my little brother at the time, and like, and at the time I didn't have glasses, so I was like half blind. But when I saw her, oh my goodness, I could see clear as day when it was nighttime, and I told myself, "Lad, no, just go. It's late. You should go sleep." But then I hit like an invisible wall, and I just had to go introduce myself. She spoke a little bit of English, but enough for us to start a conversation. And in within the first 6 days of us getting to know each other, um, basically everything that I asked God to show me the woman that would be my partner for life just kept on surfacing, like, it's just too much to be coincidence. So I said, like, God, if this is the one, I'll ask her. And I did. She said no, but I knew that I probably came off as a bit creepy, crazy, kind of, you know. um
Mazel tov, congratulations. What a tale. You're fascinating. Vladislav, you're not the kind of person who, a podcast, a meeting, you don't run into, this is what I do. I am a Vladislav. I am, boop, 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 boop. I am a, founder, growth partner, creative director, marketing sales strategist. You don't mention any of that. You're laughing, you're smiling. You are not one who runs to the commercialism, the transactional thing. You'd
nah.
be wanting to businessy business. Is that's like an American, that's like a Western, that's a very American thing, isn't it? The
um
running to the professionalisms.
it's quite an interesting question. I do notice that a lot of people get so caught up in the business they're trying to build or create or run or grow. They're too much in it, and they're like on autopilot. They just, like, uh, they've been asked so many times what they do that they just answer on autopilot. Like, I do marketing strategy consulting, B2B, B2C, all the jargony things. But they forget to, like, be human and just be, like, themselves. Like, they forget who they were when they started, why they started it. And um, it's so important not to lose the essence of the core values and the core vision that you have when you start in something.
Oh my God, you're preaching to the choir. You're saying exactly what I always say, is that yes, I've said it a million times, is start with the, before you hand out the business cards and before you share your screen and start trying to sell something, you have to build sort of the humanistic connection first.
Yes.
I get there's always the LinkedIn kind of thing where it's like, oh, generic AI message that robot goes around and says, oh, Mr. Merker, oh, we read your profile and you're this. Oh, we'd like to, would you like, you have 15 minutes of your time, like, not for a robot who copies and pastes my wrong name. What's with all these robots going around and the forced human fakeness? And what is that where you live? Where you live, it's different culturally. That's not happening as much, perhaps.
Well, I can't say it for sure because my wife is working in the real estate world, and their marketing team has adapted AI quite gracefully, I would say, with a couple of, like, AI slops, as they, say on YouTube, where they, make AI generated videos to promote a property or something like that, and just uh, it's just like, another way of people being creative with AI, because it is a tool, and we're also going through an interesting time in our history where uh, people keep saying that AI is a tool, but it's still an intellectual tool, because artificial intelligence, it's in the name, right? It's like, it's not just a hammer, it's not just like, uh, a screwdriver you can use day to day like a normal tool. It's more advanced, and it's like really early, and it's growing fast, and uh, there's like two sides of the coin. Some people are saying it's bad, some people saying it's good. I'm the person in the middle that, you need to use it responsibly, and I think we're learning how to use it. I'm not a fan of AI agents, because all prosperity happens through human connection. Like, I believe it always has and always will be. And AI should be used to make things easier for like the employees, the founders, and it shouldn't be overused, I would say, because it's drinking a lot of water as well, right?
Drinking a lot of water is a great analogy for, oh, I spent another $5,000 on Anthropic credits. And I hear you, I hear you, I hear you. And yes, speaking of the human connection and enough AI tools, Gatherly. We first met on the beautiful Gatherly platform of Gatherly being run by the founder, Adib Shadid, an incredible Toronto, can we say inventor, entrepreneur?
I would say
Gatherly.
innovator. He's a really innovative, very generous and kind guy, and what he has built is something I believe that people have been looking and craving for when it comes to digital like connection and networking, because it's so immersive. It's like feels like it's like a really in-person like vibe experience, but it's done digitally, right? So it's nothing like Zoom or Google Meet. I'm talking when we have a lot of people in one place.
Take that, Google Meet. Take that, Zoom. You got nothing on the Jewish Toronto Israeli inventors. I, you're involved with Gatherly. I've been to maybe, I don't know, 10 different events, and
Oh wow!
Adib, sure, a couple times having a booth. There's a few more coming up next month. I'm. How did you? What for those who've never experienced it? How would you explain the Gatherly system, if you will? We're giving a little plug for Gatherly, I guess, indirectly, indirect plug.
Yeah, Gatherly is a platform to host and have your own event, stage, conference, and create an unforgettable experience with your audience, your people, your tribe, so that you actually could grow closer together and you don't get forced into breakout rooms where you're feeling out of place and forced like to do the whole robot thing. Hi, I'm Vlad. I do ABC and XYZ, and I can help you with like this without that. So thank you. Whereas on Gatherly, um, let's say there's an event, there's speakers, and you really resonate with somebody particular who spoke about like a topic that interests you or you find fascinating and you don't know enough about it. Then you actually get the chance to go to their booth after the stage is closed to go and ask them some questions. It's like a real conference vibe. I mean, there's been so many people that I've met, and myself included, when I would go to a conference or an expo and I see something that's really fascinating, I have somebody to ask like all the important, curious questions that people have. So
Yes,
that's
yes,
how
yes.
I would introduce Gatherly to somebody who hasn't heard of it before. And
Yeah.
it's gatherly.io.
Gatherly.io. I love the experience of having like the booth and then going around meeting with people. And it's cool how you can like share your screen or go to a website. It's kind of like Zoom mixed with it kind of feels a bit like a video game. There's like a clickable map, kind of like an interactive world. And yeah, I think
That's
it's awesome. And when you have real life trade shows, and here I have all my like props here, but I'm like, okay, I have to bring this prop, and I
nice.
have to bring, I have like millions of these like puzzle props, and to move them to this trade booth and set up in person is such a headache. And then I got to get the Israeli guy around the corner to be like, hey, are you going also? Trick him to drive me there, and should bring all my like funky puzzles of like funky shapes and sizes, and to move to bring blocks and toys and games and boards and all sorts of tchotchkes, if you will, and like and
Wow.
and I guess because what I'm doing, it's so abstract, so it's like Gatherly's been good. Also, doing the podcast has been interesting as an
Huh?
interesting way to get exposure and meet people and connect with people, and funky charts here. And you like networking. You said that your networking is very good because, or whenever you meet someone, you're like, who can I connect them with? I'm the same. I'm the same. It's not like it's a free it's a free service. I literally,
Yeah.
how long does it take? How, even sharing one screen and being like, copy pin, copy a LinkedIn,
Yeah.
link, or like someone's profile, copy the LinkedIn link, say, hi, Steve, meet Vlad. Hi, Vlad, meet Steve. And then three-way email. And networking. What you like networking, you like connecting people together, a little matchmaking, if you will. What's that? What do you like about that?
Before I answer that question, I just want to take a pause and congratulate you on your 140 which episode?
184.
184, my
Yeah.
friend. I want to celebrate you on that. That is incredible. Incredible.
Quantity over quality, said someone the other day. I'll take it. I'll take it. I started 4 months, just almost 4 months ago. 110 days ago. So it's been 15 a week, about 14 a week.
Wow. Wow. You are moving, and you just like recording them in the scroll style, and then you just, where are you publishing them?
Great question. So on YouTube, it's all on YouTube, called Impossible Puzzles Show. And
Mhm.
there is, I could share my screen and show you what it looks like right now. Sharing my screen. Great question. So where's the podcast? Podcast is on YouTube. Here we are. And we are going to Impossible. Here it is. So at Impossible Puzzles Show. And
All
here's the
right.
channel. Yeah. Oh, 2 months
Awesome.
ago I had 40. Yeah, I was so proud. And then here are all the episodes. And yeah, like this was last night. Yesterday there were 3 episodes. The day before that there were another 2. And then it keeps going like this.
Wow.
Even there's a lot of other videos, if you will, for the puzzle designs and some shorts. And here are all the episodes.
Right.
And so
That is so fascinating.
playlists here, all episodes here. Oops, here it is. And on the side here is like the scroll bar. Yeah. So there we go. Yeah. It's actually it is cool. It is cool when you consistently, this is a life lesson I've learned, just scrolling down here. There's so many. When I've sat down and said, I'm committing, I'm going to do this, I posted on LinkedIn, I'm going to do 100 episodes, and going all the way down here. And
Well done, brother.
I remember, that was the first episode back at the end of April. And I'll just pause the sharing here. It's actually, it's a beautiful moment when I reflect on the first, what was it, like 5 months ago or something. There were many people saying like, hey, you should do a podcast, or you should do a talk show, or you should, bring in your like extremely bizarre secret puzzles of Jewish learning and Hebrew, and do songs you have in different languages, and show off your messy basement and all your crazy, like show off all your crazy charts upon charts. And I'm like, but everyone hates me. They're like, no, 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 no. Well, maybe they do hate you, but that's unrelated to the beautiful charts, And I was so nervous, and now I think it's a great feeling in life when I first saw, like, here I'm showing off the speaking of a turkey, there's a turkey. There's a different kind of turkey. And this was an amazing toy of a train and a boat and all these grid patterns of colors and shapes and a flower and a palace and yeah, and a tree and a tea kettle and a apple and a pineapple and a rocket ship and a car and I'm going on, a snail and a crab. And I was always like, isn't it fascinating with just like a bag of, colorful blocks
Yeah.
as like a children's toy. I can build all these shapes on a grid, on like a 7x7 grid that looks like this. I can build block by block all these cool shapes.
Right.
This idea was a crazy idea. Like, could I do that, block by block for that favorite Passover song in Hebrew, or those Bible quotes from the Torah in Hebrew, in some magical way that doesn't look like a turkey or a dog or a rocket ship or a house, and then even including songs from different languages. And I guess, tying it back, doing the podcasting has been an interesting experience because I've gotten a lot of, negative feedback, positive feedback. It's opened up different people to talk to. There's been some beautiful short, beautiful moments for like 30-second short videos to edit, to crop.
Yeah.
The power of talking to people and bouncing ideas off people is so important. It doesn't matter how great an idea is. It doesn't matter how sophisticated the marketing could be. I've learned that we must talk to people constantly, get feedback constantly. And it doesn't cost money. Well, podcast could be a secret trick, because if you reach out to someone and be like, hi, can I bother you for 20 minutes? The answer is usually like, well, what is this about? Or no. But if you reach out to someone and go, I'm bothering you, but it's a recorded bothering in a structured way, then people are like, oh, I'm a celebrity. So it's a secret trick I've learned. Actually learned it from a few other people. They're like, Mike, instead of sending 100 messages to people, and maybe one will say, okay, I'll talk with you for half an hour. Just say you're doing a podcast and the meeting is an episode, and then click record, and then people will show up, and then it will keep track of it. And then when you reach out to anyone, you say, hi, would you like to be episode 184? And then they might, and then you could do the exact same thing you would meet about, except it will be recorded. So people actually come to the meeting and actually book. And it's like a secret. What do you think? Is it a secret trick to getting feedback and meeting people and getting ideas? A podcast is just a meeting where you click record.
I think you captured the essence of meeting people and then just getting to know them and helping them explore who they are a little bit deeper, And I want to celebrate you and congratulate you for 184th episode, because not a lot of people do that. They would normally stop after 10, 15, maybe 30. But what inspired you to actually start the podcast? And before even that, I'm sorry if I'm turning this around, but I'm also really curious
turn it around.
you because
please do.
What inspired you to start Impossible Puzzles? Because that led to the podcast, right?
Yes, totally. Great question. So for 7 years, I was teaching, like a rabbi teaching in a synagogue, absolute beginners who couldn't read at all. Just getting some beautiful charts to help me help my story here. And I spent, it took a long time. You actually have to, I was actually teaching like the Hebrew alphabet all
Mm.
these symbols and what, this makes an M sound and this symbol makes a T sound and this symbol
Uh-huh.
makes a Y sound. So like the Hebrew alphabet is really, really, really hard to learn. And
Mm.
that's just the alphabet. Those are just the consonants. Then you have to learn all the vowels. And then you have to start learning how to read. And, a lot of people in today's day and age, particularly the affluent patrons of synagogues
Mm.
or beginners or special education, situations and students,
Yes.
they don't have the patience to sit for like 100 hours, 200 hours and learn the Hebrew alphabet and start learning the language. So what happens is, everything gets lost in translation, if you will.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
one of the biggest things I realized was if I incorporated, colors and shapes and ways to remember things and make it more tactile and
Mm.
more packaged, then it became a lot easier for me to keep track of what I was teaching and to
Mm.
who. And in this way we wouldn't have we could have a translation to help us, but we wouldn't be afraid to go into the raw ancient texts of the
Mm.
Talmud and the Old Testament, the Torah, the Tanakh,
Okay.
all those. There's just so many books, there's so many works. So I was like, it is an impossible challenge. And then I learned that by color coding things and indexing things, it became a lot more accessible and searchable.
Mm.
And I could use computer skills I have, bring my computer with me and teach much more effectively. And then,
Wow.
yes, in the morning I was teaching usually older, more affluent people. And then over a number of years, teaching in the afternoon, special education or junior high, math or
Mm.
science. And to confess, it's a long day and it's a lot of stress on the young people. And so
Mm.
they need something with the hands. They
Mm.
need something tactile. It's so mentally challenging. Imagine if half the day you study like Jewish stuff, but you have to focus on like the raw text in an ancient language. And there's no computers and there's no phones and there's no media.
Mm.
It's just old books and rabbi and students. So I
Mm.
guess, yeah, for a long time, it took time to figure out, but for a long time, I was like, it's 2026. There's got to be or this was even 2022, whatever. But I was like, there's got to be a different way to do this. And then it's really over COVID it started to be more acceptable to include computers or record lectures or
Oh, okay.
teacher teaching from a screen. So I guess it was both. There's such a need and also there's such a need, and like 95% of Jewish people cannot write their own name in Hebrew.
Oh, wow.
Like you're talking like complete illiteracy, zero. And
Wow.
so yeah, I mean, I guess that was it hurt me sometimes when I realized like how, here I have growing up, I had a lot of exposure to so much resources and learning and an easy life. And then I'm around all these great scholars and wise people. But for like the average Joe, you don't get anything. And then I guess that evolved into, I guess so it started with Hebrew and then it started working because the Hebrew alphabet and language is quite tricky, but the same color code and system, I have it right here. It looks like this. This was the code, the color
Oh,
by number code that I used. So I
nice.
printed it out and I have like color numbers, color letters, and then color symbols, like a
Nice.
yellow sun and a gray moon, and red fire, blue water, green tree, purple flower, brown soil. So I made kind of like
Nice.
a baby, if you will, a baby language
Hmm.
for getting comfortable with. Yeah, it started to work really well.
Like with Hebrew or like just like, with learning in general?
With learning in general, with learning hard languages, hard alphabets, to the point that
And where are you based right now? Are you currently in Israel or States or where?
I live in Canada. I live in
Canada.
Canada. Yeah, I
Nice.
live in. Um, I made this example here is the Indian national anthem
Hmm.
turned into. I could share my screen and take you
I
through
know
it.
I know a few people who would love that.
This is what we were talking about how the importance of sharing and telling one's story and not being afraid, not being afraid to share and tell. And I'm bringing up the program right now. So this is a here it is. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm just punching in yellow, yellow, like yeah, like this first row. So 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 5, 6. 1, 5, 6. And there you go. This is it. This is the.
Hmm.
What do you think? What do you think of this?
Well, I don't know the Indian national anthem. However, to be honest, I'm not familiar with any national anthem, just for your information. So please don't ask me which one would you like to show me. But this is like really interesting. So basically, you can learn the national anthem through your puzzle by following the colors and the words, and then it's like kind of becomes memorable and easier to retain and also teach at the same time. Actually, this makes it like, am I right or am I missing
100%.
something?
Yeah. You saying it perfectly. And where I live, there is let me do another example. This is a French. Let me clear that one. And we'll do another example. Yeah.
But
You're
I
testing
would
it.
love to introduce you to somebody, and then you can get their feedback on it, and I'd love to hear their response and see if they can sing along.
Even better. I would love to do that. This is just another example where it's a song, but this is in a completely different language, a
Mm,
French song, and all I'm doing is, for each word of the song, like what's the first letter? You got to skip the vowels, but like what's the first letter?
mm,
And then find it on the chart. So the words that begin with, L or an L sound, like alouette, they happen to fall in the blue 4 slots.
mm.
So all I'm doing is, it's not so complicated, but yeah, this has been really cool for exploring languages. And yeah, sure. Here's the
I'd love to connect you to like a couple of people.
sure, for sure. There we go.
Would you say that in a way you've created like your own work of art?
Sharing the pausing here. It's particularly cool. Yes, the idea, that's definitely one way to say it. Those are the larger sizes. This here, what I've tried to do here is take, a Jewish book, chapter 1, like create like a chapter 1 in the first slot.
Mhm,
One of the many Jewish books, find a chapter 2 idea
mhm,
that falls in chapter 2, put in the second slot. Something cool on, chapter 3, put it in the third slot. So going through each number from 1 all the way down to 47 and make
mhm.
this enormous puzzle. And yeah, you can wear it like a hat.
I see there's two missing.
There was in the system that's being developed, it always made sense to, so to speak, block off two slots here to make it nice. There's always been that in all the puzzles. There's always two slots that are like blacked out or blocked off.
Yeah.
That helps very much. That actually, great question. So that helps all around for like, this is the French song. So like, if you want to stack them together, like you want to stack your Indian song with your French song, you can always line them up on the sort of the area. They all have that
Hmm.
special area that blocked off.
Hmm.
It also helps for many other of the pattern things. And then, instead of complete with all the every block filled in, sometimes it doesn't fill in so well, but you get other patterns. So this here, with practice, this here is Psalm number 2
Hmm.
in Hebrew as like a magic code. Yeah. I actually, talking to many different people and building it out, I've been learning so much. I've also been me, right? So I'm me. I'm married. I have 5 kids. I'm sitting in my basement. There's patents, and I'm sitting in my basement figuring this out and programming. And
You have 5 kids. Like, have you been like, how are they taking your puzzles? Like, how are they learn and move them?
there are 1,000 videos, literally, of me singing songs in different languages,
Oh.
playing with my kids, trying different grids, trying to put like the tiles on different grids and patterns, and making puzzle time. My son, who's 2, he takes it and he hands it to me. I also have Thanks for asking. Great question. So like I have I have a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 5-month-old. So each
So
contributes in different ways. Each adds different ideas.
yeah.
And this here is a programmable like LED light thing. So this is really cool. Also, with an app on the phone, you can make the colors and shapes display here as well. Um, I've also learned what works and what doesn't work. Like, for
Yeah, that's
example,
important.
that's so important as well. Like, because there's a difference when you're talking to like a 2-year-old child or a 4-year-old. But yeah, when I've talked to like a venture capitalist comes over for an hour and is asking us questions. So he's not gonna sit on the floor and
Mm.
do the blocks. He doesn't want to hear that side. He wants to know, okay, how much does it cost? How many songs can you do? What languages can you cover? How long does it take to encode, 100 new songs?
Mm.
What about legal copyright? Is this a purely Jewish learning project? Is this a toy? Is this a game? And I've learned
All
also
valid questions. All valid questions.
totally. And you know what I've been learning more now than ever, the podcasting and presenting and trade shows and doing it. I've learned more now than ever that it's always important to have a team, always
Mm.
important to have other people who have different skill sets, and some are angrier than others, and some are
Mm.
nice, and some are very technical, and some are not technical, and some are Jewish, and some are not Jewish. And I've learned more than ever the importance of talking to people and diverse perspectives. And yeah, looking back, I spent so much time inventing, fixing, building,
Mm.
figuring out what would be the shape and how would we build it. And that's a piece of the puzzle, if you will.
Mm.
And there's the whole other thing where it's like, how do you convey it in 10 seconds? How do you captivate someone's imagination? All those mothers who said, I don't get it. It's too complicated. I'll never buy it. And then right afterwards, a person walks in the booth. Oh my God, would you have the whole of Genesis, all in puzzles? Oh my God, how much? And I'm like, well, wait a second. I was just, he's like, are you all right? I'm like, I was just scolded by those Jewish women who left yelling at me that it makes no sense. And now you're coming in saying it's better than sliced bread. So it's amazing the speed of critics and lovers and people who love it, people who hate it, people who like me but hate the product, people who love the product but hate me. So it's been interesting, just the yeah, This is a beautiful episode. Also, you're asking me questions. I so much time I'm the one hiding behind the microphone, if you will. Hello, and waiting for the other person to, when they stop talking, ask more questions, secretly cheating by looking at their LinkedIn profile or website. And so this is beautiful. What else have I learned?
Um,
I
can I like pause you for a second?
I will pause. Yeah.
Because I think you touched on something really important. And one thing is that you will never be able to please everybody. You know, what you've built is not gonna be for everybody. Basically, 1 out of 10 people will get what you're doing, like straight away. The other 1 out of 10 will never get what you're doing, and they'll always criticize you. And that's in the middle, that 8 out of 10, you'll need to explain. And like, I really love that you're doing this podcast because you get to explain it in different ways for different people. And I was wondering if you rewatch the episodes that you record.
All the time. I watch uh not only do I watch the episodes, but when it's being filmed, a lot of the time I'm forced to really concentrate, both listening to another person or the style. Yeah, I definitely watch. Yeah, I watch every episode multiple times. I had no idea that the YouTube channel for around Impossible Puzzles, yeah, I didn't know it would get 350 subscribers and how many views it's at now. And someone's like, congratulations on getting
Yeah.
this many episodes. And now I see that you're at almost 400,000 views across all the videos. And it was a great moment when I realized, like, okay, not only have I like overcome the fear of the public speaking and the presenting, but now I've also learned the comfort of when there's criticism, because recorded, I can receive the criticism so much better, because you need that. I need that. You need that. We all need to receive the criticism, what's wrong. We need to hear that hard. And then because that's how we learn and grow and fix things. And it's great
Just
when
as
I
long as
watch.
it's done in a like moderate right way, because too much
Hopefully.
criticism can can be detrimental. And
Yes.
luckily you get to choose what kind of criticism, constructive criticism, as I like to call it, helps you to progress. I do have a suggestion for you if you're open.
Please. Yeah.
Um,
Please.
check out Riverside. Let me see if I can quickly get the link for you. Riverside is a podcasting platform where you can invite guest speakers, you can record episodes, and the quality is being recorded both on your side and on my side, so that if there's internet connection problem, the recording stays, I would say, unaffected and in good quality. All right. And it will give you a little bit, how can I say, you're doing a lot of episodes, it would add to the quality of your episodes as well. And
Yes. Teach me.
I think
Rabbi of media. Teach me. Riverside. I love that. You know what? If you met me a year ago, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to receive so beautifully the advice. Try this system, do this in this way. And now yes, Riverside. I'm looking up right now.
I'm sharing it in the chat.
You're right.
Riverside.com.
Yes, a real podcast and video software, as opposed to just doing everything on a Google Meet link. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm for creating the best content and brilliant. And
Because you'll be doing, I believe you'll be doing more episodes like these, and you're just gonna keep getting better. And it's an incredible way to help to get your product out there, so that you can find your community of people who get what you're building and who are interested and curious about what you're building. Because one idea that came up, and you can write this down, is that if you can scan each puzzle and that song or the chapter from the book can pop up on the mobile device, that would be incredibly awesome.
The ability
For
to
example,
scan.
if you scan like for example, you are showing me and I could scan with an app what kind of
That's right.
anthem it is,
Yeah,
or for
take it.
example, like like without you like blocking the puzzle, you can hold it by the black part maybe, and then I
Yes.
would be able to like scan it, and then it would pop up like, for example, it's a like Bible chapter from Torah or something like that,
Brilliant.
or
Brilliant.
Genesis, or like national anthem. You could do songs like popular songs, like I don't know, Justin Bieber, like, or whatever, and then it would like pop up. It's I don't know how it could be used, but I mean it's a unique way of using puzzles and connecting technology, because of the younger generation grew up with like iPhones and all these internet devices, whereas I only caught up later, and my parents, they didn't even grew up with telephones or anything like that. Just an interesting idea.
Fascinating. Yes, you're right. The ability to scan the puzzle is a magical experience as well. There was some experimenting with that. It's so interesting. It's so interesting when and I have my lovely daughter here. Say hello, Mrs. Oh, she's hiding.
Woohoo!
We're gonna get her in the messy basement. There she is. Hello.
Hello.
You have beautiful chocolate, beautiful drink. Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, bon appetit.
Bon appetit indeed. Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to give such beautiful feedback. And it's fascinating in life. I'm drinking it. Amazing. I will drink it shortly.
Take a sip now. Don't be a gentleman and take a sip right now.
Yes, if your daughter, wife, son, mother gives you something to drink, you eat it right away and you smile, even if the chicken is a little sour or salty.
I think let's just edit that part out, just for your safety, right? But earlier you said networking and stuff before I started asking questions as well, because I got curious. My question to you, last question, and then we can go back. Who would be a really great connection for you right now? Like, who are you looking to connect with? And try to be as specific as possible.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for saying that. Anyone who deals with language education, like learning different alphabets and learning different languages, or the other.
I know just a person for that.
Perfect. Thank you. Oh, wow. This is beautiful. And then
I know a polyglot who knows 8 languages, by the way, and he can teach all of them.
Oh my God. I am Mazel Tov. And also anything to do with like religious studies. So like Jewish or not Jewish, but where there's like interest in the original text, like ancient or classical texts, like even like ancient Greek or Hebrew or Aramaic or Latin or Arabic or Hindi, wherever there's like that. So those are the main areas. Number one is learning different.
So cultural language as well, like cultural studies.
Exactly. Language, religious, cultural, like foreign language. And then the last area is just around puzzle and game designers. Is sort of, those are the 3 areas. Exploring foreign languages, like the really hard alphabets, like Russian or Greek or Chinese or Japanese or Hebrew. Religious or classical texts like Greek or Latin or Hebrew, and then also anything in the space of like, yeah, like puzzles and basic puzzle designs, toy designs. And actually it's been really exciting getting the 2 patents, being like to actually hold in your hand like an American official patent. That's been a beautiful and exciting. It's like it's like running a marathon. It's a challenging. It's hard to really achieve that feat. Yeah, and life's good. I've been figuring it out, and and also I've been very lucky. My wife has I always say, I've always had people who are both supportive but also challenging. So there's
Yeah.
been ups and downs, but to win over one's Jewish mother, Jewish mother-in-law, Jewish wife, you'll never win over 2 Jews, 3 opinions. It's always hard to win over the a Jewish person, Israeli person. But
You
I
know what?
feel
I
now,
think it's
yeah,
like spans across multiple cultures. Because I was born in Kazakhstan, I grew up in South Africa, I worked and lived in Europe, and now I'm living in and well, working digitally from Turkey. And people and their characteristics and
yes,
doesn't matter where we're from, how old we are, uh, where we always have more things in common than we could have known or imagined even. And I just want to say that I'm looking forward to connecting you to at least 3 to 4 out of the whole bunch of things that you mentioned. And I want to say thank you for having specific categories for me to, and being so open to receiving like connections, and being so open to meeting people, because I believe that what you're doing it for a reason. Even if I didn't understand it at first, there's somebody who probably needs what you're doing, you know?
thank you for saying that. I will add you to the list of people who think it's not terrible. A joke. I only also I should joke and say that only after so many less clear models and less clear charts and puzzles and big and small, only after all those failures, bouncing
Mm,
around, struggling, is it now clearer in my mind, and I can clearer demonstrate, share the screen, talk about it. So I always encourage people, don't be afraid to fail. Fail forward. You fail forward. And had I not been to that event on Gatherly, I would not have had the chance to meet with someone was born in Kazakhstan. Wow. All I know about
mm,
Kazakhstan is from Borat, which is probably not accurate. Apologies for that. Also a
no,
quirky Jewish
it
guy.
always makes a good laugh. I mean, that's another thing with people. We have diverse sense of humors, but we have sense of humor nonetheless. So it's
Very
been
good.
a real pleasure talking with you and being on
Thank you.
your podcast. Thank you for being so open to the questions, and I'm looking forward to talking with you again.
We could do another episode. We will pause here. I will pause the recording here. This has been an incredible episode. And